while I was doing this, I identified a lot of gaps which we are seeing on the day in and day out basis. It is very important that if you are there in a journey of a business, the common understanding between the co-founders have to be there.
If you stick to one place, you will be out of the market.
Hello and welcome to this yet another episode of Story Makers. This is the show where we bring to you different stories of different people. They come here on this platform and they share their inspiration, their resilience and their story of struggles. Yes, my dear friends, I'm your host Simran, and like I always say, that storytelling is one of the most powerful way of putting your ideas into the world today. I am here with two very dynamic friends, I should say, who have now become partners not in just crime, but their good work. They have excelled in their work, and now we are going to hear their story of success. I have with me Gaganjit Singh, Wazir, who is the CEO and founder of Translab IO. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and pleasure to be here.
It's such a great honor. Now I have Mr. Neeraj Dhopte, who is the co-founder and also the CTO of Translab.io.
Thank you so much.
I'm so very happy. I have been talking to you backstage, and I know that you're not just partners, but you're friends together. So here, cheers to the friendship first.
Thank you very much.
All right, I would like to begin with the CEO.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now, such a bright personality that you are. You've been into a technical person, you worked with IBM. Now you're here as a business person, you started a new venture, doing wonderfully well all across the world. Please tell us your story.
So, ma'am, I think the story starts with a very humble background. I did my education from the Tier 3, Tier 4 city in Jammu and Kashmir from a place called Baramulla. I did my engineering from the Jammu University, which is again in the same place. From there, I got an opportunity to come to Bangalore. I was selected and enrolled in IBM. And I worked there for almost 5 years. And
Wow.
these 5 years, I can say it was a learning for me. It actually helped me in terms of fostering my skills. I made sure that I learn the technology, understand the technology, deploy, implement and troubleshoot the challenges what we are getting on day in day out basis, right? So while I was doing this, I identified a lot of gaps which we are seeing on the day in and day out basis. One day for one of the banking customer, I was there in Mumbai and I met my partner in crime. So that's where I discussed with him on the idea that how can we bring an innovation into the IT industry, because I am seeing a gap where technology cannot solve a problem if you don't have an understanding on a domain.
Absolutely.
And that was the building block of actually starting the Translab in the year 2015. That's where we incubated this idea, and we started our business operations from the 2018.
Okay.
And as of today, we are across the different geolocations. We are there in North America. We have started our operations in Singapore, Europe. In India, we have around 3 offices with a workforce of around 350 plus associates. I think our success is the hard work of all of them, and we are just the representatives of their hard work, and that's where we are today. But as we have been there in this tech industry, we have continuously evolved over a period of time, and our major investments has been there in the 3 domain. One is banking, healthcare and the utilities. And the major focus has been around data. We call ourselves as a good data company. We understand the data. We work with the clients in terms of building the data products from them, building the AI products for them that can help them in terms of having the better decision making, that can help them in terms of reducing the turnaround times, that can help them in terms of having the better operational efficiencies. So the journey has been difficult. We had all ups and downs, but I think now we are seeing a success with a decent growth on a year-on-year basis. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So,
I mean, I do see your journey started from J&K and that you're here.
Yes.
There's a lot that I need to ask, but then I would want to switch on to Neeraj ji.
Yeah.
Now I've heard his story. He started from a very humble background. But I would like to know, you've already had an experience of 18 years. You were doing professionally so well. Now, right from starting from this point and joining hands with, Gaganjit ji, How was this experience for you? What made you realize that, okay, when I join hands, it's going to be different?
Yeah, this is always an interesting question when somebody asks me, when you have a career which is around good career, you are with a good company, and what was the reason you started? So just to give a small background about me, I came from a city called as Nagpur, again a town B. Okay, so I did my engineering from Nagpur University, and there was always a gist, everybody wanted, right? When we were in the 90s, 98 type, everybody wants whether you want to become a doctor or an engineer. So my father said, what do you want? Either it is a doctor or an engineer. I said, it's okay, engineering is easy, you can complete in 4 years, let's go with engineering. But once you are passed with engineering and once you came to know, there were a lot of opportunities which we wanted to work, like the IIT. So people always wanted IITs. When we were in the town B, IIT was like, okay, somebody cannot reach. So I took the gate, I passed out, I was one of the topper of the state. So I got admission in IIT Roorkee, I started, and then from there I started my career with Infosys. And Infosys also I was privileged to start with Infosys because banking was transforming at that time.
Right.
So when I talk about banking, it was a core banking where people were moving from paperless to the technology of the centralized platform. So I was a part of that journey where I got an opportunity to learn how I can transform the paperless to a digital part. And the digital banking came into picture. So it started with the core banking, and on top of that I was like on the technical consulting group. So during that time it was called as the NSG of Infosys Finacle. So we used to call it as an NSG of Infosys Finacle whenever there is a crisis to the bank, because if it is any downtime or anything required, we were the person who were the first to be deployed to solve the crisis. So there was an opportunity where I learned how problems can be solved, how it is easy if there is a situation when it is a downtime situation, because any downtime in a bank is very crucial, you cannot accept even a small downtime, it is a penalty attached to it. And we were the people who were always on the ground in this situation, and we used to resolve. So and along with that I have seen the complete banking transformation journey, starting from your core banking, then you move to the internet banking, the mobile banking, and then I joined a fintech called Fintech, which was doing the regulatory reporting. Because once the banks were digitally centralized, there was a regulatory requirement came from the bank. So this company was building the complete regulatory reporting product. I was one of the architect who was assigned. So I've developed that complete product. And then we moved where we both met in one of the bank, where I was working as an enterprise architect to design their complete IT strategy for one of the major bank. So we came together, and then we thought, since our synergy was matching, I was also looking like, since we are working for so many companies, we have the experience, why can't we start our own? We had a discussion, I think it was a dinner which we were having, and he was from one company, I came from another company, we had a dinner. So we said, why can't, because I was also looking, we have to start something. So we started at that point in time, and he said, I have a technology blend, you have a banking as well as the application and the technology blend, why can't we work together? And the journey started there. So
one of the things which you didn't mention, that I sponsored the dinner.
Oh, wonderful. So you were destined to meet and you were destined to sponsor it, and that's how this great this partnership started. I do see you that you are like IT industry, and you are like, wow, what wonderfully you've got such great projects already, but there is some business acumen. That's why you thought that we can join hands and start this business. What was it? How did you start? Like, how are you managing these two worlds together?
There are two things. One is the business acumen, and second is the technology vision, right? So when you talk about the business, I always called it as an head and a heart. So head is always business, and heart is the technology. Right. So you have to harmonize between them. So there is always a fight which is happening between your head and the heart. So the head says, what is customer requirement? Okay. At the same time, is it giving him financial sustainability? Because when we are thinking of any technology, technology comes with a cost, but it is financial sustainable for them. Right. That is also requirement. Is it giving value to the customer? So the head always thinks of that. Yes. The heart says, how better I can deliver that part. So how better the technology I can leverage. So it is always a fight between them. So it is always says the head and the heart, they have to harmonize in such a way. Okay. So they have to work together. It is not like you can say that head or heart. Okay.
It is absolutely the connect of head and heart.
Agreed.
And that's what you are still doing it. Like when you are connecting yourself with your partner, it is, you're also giving your bestest in your IT company. Agreed. And also as a business person in the work that you both are doing for Translab.io. Now coming back to you, Gaganjit ji, I would like to know that you have a great business acumen. Of course, you really thought that I would be shifting from IBM and I
Yes.
will, and of course,
Yes.
various sectors that you work with.
Absolutely.
And you started this company. Now you have about 350 people working under you.
Yes.
For you, it is also very important to manage the show very well.
Yes.
As a CEO,
Yeah.
what is that your take that you have to work for your people, that every time when they see, first day of their month, they should see that the salary should be at. So you must be getting a lot of business, a lot of people you're working with, because I do know that there are 3 different sectors you're already working
Yes.
with. So how are you getting that business from those sectors and helping them to gain their salaries towards the end?
So I think that, as I said, our start has been very humble, and we started small with around, say, one dining table around, and say 5 or 6 of us sitting in that small space, and we started the business. And I think we have been blessed, because in the last couple of years, once I look back at my business, I see what is the amount of retention we have done in terms of our client engagements. Most of the clients with whom we started from the date of incubation are still there with us.
Wow.
We have not evolved ourselves over a period of years, but we have also made sure that the clients are also evolving as a part of this entire transformation journey. And the best thing which has happened is that all of them have been there as a part of our journey. We have been growing our footprint in the market. As of now, in the banking industry, I was checking with the team, and I was surprised that 85% of the banks in India are our customers.
Oh wow.
And that is a decent benchmark to have, because banking as a whole, we have become an exemplary in the world once it comes to the banking technology space. UPI is one of the example where we have made the transactions which is on your mobile platform, right? And
Correct.
you don't have those carrying wallets and making those transactions which used to happen earlier. Now everything is happening digitally. And once we have seen, as Neeraj said, we have seen the growth of all these banks, the amount of data that has been increasing. Every single bank where we have been working has given us an opportunity to work. We made sure that we are providing a right value proposition to the client, and our business has been growing on a year-on-year basis. And the increase in the strength in terms of the number of people is directly proportional to the amount of trust what you are getting from your customers.
Correct.
And that's where we stand today. And I think our people will be happy in terms of seeing they have grown along with us. One important aspect is the first employee whom we hired at the time of incubation is still an employee within Translab.
Wow.
So I think once I look back on those achievements rather than the growth, it personally gives a lot of satisfaction to us.
Absolutely, that sustainability for the employees also, it's very important, because how
Absolutely.
any organization is working,
Correct.
this depends on, like, how am I going to grow myself in
Absolutely.
this. That's why that first employee still is with you for good 6 years, about 8 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that, and we are planning his retirement also.
Well, you should not be retiring in just 6 years. So I know that you've been consulting and giving consultations to about a lot of banks, and you said that about 85% banks are already your clients.
Correct.
That's a huge number.
Yes.
But I also know it's just not banks, you're also with health sectors, and you're also with utilities. Now these 3 different sectors that you're working with and providing solutions.
Yes.
Can you please in short tell us what is Translab.io is doing, everything about your company?
As I said, we are a good data company. We focus in and around data, and we have been working with the 3 major sectors what you recently mentioned about. So our engagement with the client is always in terms of understanding their current data journey, their current data problems, and how can we utilize the power of technology to understand that particular data. For example, I take an example of the banks. We actually help them in terms of the regulatory part of the banking to make sure that how their data is secure. How can I make sure that they are able to unify their data? How can they build a right set of technology so that they can sell right set of products to their customers, or they can have a better approach in terms of understanding their customer problems, right? Similarly, in the utilities market, we have a team which is based out of Canada. the lady by name Adi Manchanda, she is actually taking care of our Canada operations over there. And there we have been working in terms of making sure that how we are helping the utilities there, whether it is in terms of understanding the energy forecast, whether it is in terms of understanding how the utilization of the resources are getting incorporated within the utilities market, how can we make sure that what is the percentage of the transmission losses which are there in the utilities there itself, right? And this energy market has been growing. It is energy is the one of the biggest asset and the biggest field as of now we see along with the banking as of now. And similarly is in healthcare. There we have been working with our customers to make sure that how the technology can leverage or they can leverage our technology to make sure that the triage of the healthcare data can be looked into a better way, how they can do the triangulation of the data, how can they make sure that if the patient is onboarded into an hospital, and AI technology can make sure that what is a right healthcare consulting they need from a particular department, so that they can actually get a right set of treatments, right? So just to put it across, data is a gold mine. We have been working on this data across the different platforms, and the team across the region are well capable to understand the data into these domains which I just mentioned about. Yes.
Okay, so 3 different sectors and you're catering them with all these things, and now coming back to you, you're the IT king here, and you so technically sound. Of course both of you are, and you're majorly taking part of the IT sector. Now that I see your experience, and I saw there are a lot of critical technology changes that's happening. We see technology changing every day, and AI is coming to this picture, making waves in the industry. Now you see that these 3 sectors he's bringing, the business is also taking care of the technicalities. What is it that you see as a change here? How do you bridge this gap of changes coming in, AI coming in, and how do you formalize the whole thing?
Sure. See, when any changes or any business requirement comes, right, the first thing is you need to understand what we need to cater. Okay. So when you select any of the technology part, it is very important you need to understand is what is the business requirement.
Correct.
So the business requirement, the assessment of what we need to do the business requirement, based upon the assessment, what tools and technologies you can apply it, and what people with that skill sets has to be mapped. So you need to make a perfect blend of the people, process and technology. So you need to bring it together and you need to apply on that. So as the requirement comes, the requirement keeps on changing, and accordingly your people, process and technology has to keep on adapting accordingly.
Correct. So is there any time that you faced struggle? Have you also faced, there could be a time that even you also got crashed, you as in the IT also got crashed while you were supporting different sectors. As a person that you're providing services, have you also faced those struggles of crashing in between?
There were multiple scenarios when this type of issues have happened. When we start, because since we are a bootstrap company at this point in time, so you have to make that whatever talent which you are putting, because we are self-funded and a bootstrap company, so whatever people you are putting, they are at the best. So with a lean team you need to deliver. So sometimes we might have happened that the project has come where we thought the lean team can help, but it has to ramp up. So there are scenarios when project comes in that way where we need to ramp up the team immediately and then again ramp down. So whenever this type of process have come, we have faced multiple challenges where we have to pull people from other projects, pull in a particular strategic projects where we need to implement, and accordingly we need to move back. So that type of project. But to address those situations, what we have done, we learn from our things. So first is very important, we have built our automations. So whatever learnings which were people were doing manual tasks, we have automated that. So in that way we are able to save the multiple data silos. At the same time we have helped to reduce the customer cost also. Because once the cloud, it is not about sending the data, but any data if you want to bring out of cloud, it costs you. So we have reduced that cost. So we are also helping customer to reduce their costs.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then most of your clients who are from the IT industries of various sectors, and must be coming back to you saying that you really saved us. Now 10 Tour, you said, is the name of the project that you're working on. So why this name looks very different? How have you conceptualized this name?
So it is a very funny story. Actually, we were sitting in an office, and one of our colleague, he actually came and he gave this name, Tantor. So it actually this is Tantor is an elephant of Tarzan. Okay, so that's how we gave this particular name. But I think Neeraj was mentioning about the product. In my mind, I was just thinking of the entire transition. It takes a lot of mindset change to change yourself from the services company to a product company.
Correct.
Because services is all about catering to the customer problems, and you are resolving problem for a particular set of customers, and you are focused on that. We have done deployments in the banking. This is a platform which has been purpose built for the banking industry.
Okay.
And this has been deployed within the customer premises. Customers are using it. We are taking this product globally, and there are POCs which are going on. There are discussions which are actually happening with the global clients, with the partners with whom we have been working on. They are the big cloud vendors also, and the strategy is to take the product global altogether.
Alright, but I do know that you're already globally based. You're in different parts of the world,
Yes.
and there's this project which you purposely do in Canada.
Yes.
Now this is one place, but then of course you're in US. You're
Yes.
also in other parts of the
Yes,
world.
yeah.
We would like to know more of it. Like, as if now, where are you, and where are you planning to move ahead in life?
Yeah, I think the once you are there into this journey, it is a process of the continuous learning and continuous transformation, right? So we have been transforming ourselves on an year-on-year basis, whether it comes to the technology, whether it comes to the growth. We have expanded in the multiple locations, but intent is to increase our mass. We have certain set of customers in the North American region, but we are making certain investments in terms of the sales, in terms of the data driven marketing, to make sure that we increase our customer base in those regions also. So the presence as of now in those regions has been as a services organization, but as I said, we are transforming. We want to transform globally as a product organization, and that is the way we are looking forward to. So the in the next couple of years, you will be seeing Translab on the journey towards being a leader in the data, and product which is a Tantor will be playing a pivotal in this entire journey altogether.
I really wish that, and I'm sure the way you both are working, I'm sure you are just going to see this kind of milestone super soon, which you're really thinking. Now, coming back to both of you together now, that you are both as friends, as partners, of course, in crime and then your work. How is this friendship is evolving? Of course, very nicely, I'm sure. But how does your family feel? How do you manage to have that kind of a balance between work, family, and you both as friends?
So I think that this is the most difficult question if you ask me, and I think it is very important that if you are there in a journey of a business, the common understanding between the co-founders have to be there. If you have a positive energy between yourself, you can utilize this positive energy across the organization. So I think I'm blessed. We had a friendship from last couple of years. We have seen the all ups and downs of the life together, whether it is as of today or we have faced the problems couple of years back. We have been handling those problems together, and whenever it comes to the celebrations, we keep giving credits to each other, but most of the time I give credits to him because he is the man behind innovation. He is the man who has actually been a thought leader in terms of coming up with an idea to transform this organization.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you very much.
The kind of humor and that wit that you carry, and I'm sure the atmosphere in the office must have been very, very, very lively and happy. Seeing you both together, I know the friendship that you carry. Of course, that kind of a bond and positivity takes you through to a lot of difficult times as well.
Absolutely.
Now, coming to you, I would like to hear from you that you're in the industry, you've been serving for long. What is that one advice to all the aspiring people who would want to be into this IT industry? Be like you, be successful as you are. What is your say to those who are watching you?
See, the first thing which I like to tell people, you should love what you do.
Wonderful. Yes.
So if you are not loving it, what you are doing, then So it is very important whatever work you are doing, and you should always be with the technology or with the changes which are. So you should be adaptable, you should be flexible, because technology industry changes very fast. If you are stick to one place, you will be out of the market. So as an advice, it is always you should be flexible, keep learning the new technologies and keep adopting the new technologies, so that your career growth will be in the same path.
Wonderful. Very rightly said that you should be adaptive to change. Now coming to the CEO and the founder of Translab, you are a business person. You are also a technical person. You are heading a company which is 350 people under you. There's a lot that you're doing. Of course, you're thinking every day for so many people who are you're serving their families literally. Now, what is your advice? Because you started from very humble background. You said that just a dining table, and you started from a small room. Reaching to this level and doing so big, what is that one advice for the people who are watching you right now, that they can be like you?
So I think that my advice is to all young entrepreneurs that we are at the epicenter of the technology. We have seen so many startups being funded. We have seen they have became the $1 million companies over a period of year. PhonePe, BharatPe, Flipkart are all of these such examples. But at the same time, it is very important that you stay focused. You make sure that you believe in your idea, but at the same time be flexible. Make sure that if there are certain changes that you have to bring within your product, you should have that agility to change. And I wish them all the best to be a part of this journey.
Wow. I do see that the synergy that you both have, both have been insisting upon, be flexible. For all those young entrepreneurs, I'm really glad that I had this opportunity to meet both of you.
Thank you.
Such a lively, both of you, that you have that kind of a positive aura, and I'm very sure that you are going to reach to the level that you are already thinking for your company.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much for sharing your story, inspiring us, and making this interview wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and it is pleasure to connect with you. I think that we have been doing this for the first time, but we had a very interactive session, and thank you so much for hosting us here.
Thank you. Again, it feels great. Thanks for the great compliment. And coming back to your audience, I've already received my compliment, and if you really feel that it is absolutely apt, do let me know. And yes, like here I always say on Story Makers, we are sharing stories of people who come here, tell their story, inspire you, and if you think that you do have a story to inspire, what are you waiting for? Do connect with us. Till then, Simran signing off with a promise, I will be back soon.